Let's get this straight. Whoever the shadowy figures are that are trying to run the world at this point, they want to destroy what is true, what is beautiful, and what is genuinely sacred. And the reason that they want to destroy these things is because, well, number one, you can't really destroy the truth. The truth will be revealed no matter what. But we as people that are following the Most High, Yeshua, we are supposed to be people that are going to be okay with whatever happens. And it's not necessarily that we need to tolerate things, but we need to understand that whatever actually occurs is going to be in accordance to the will of the Most High. And I think this is going to be an important indication that we're going to have to make as we continue to go forward. And the reason being is because, well, whoever doesn't know, in the United States election is tomorrow. And I'm filming this at about 3 p.m. Mountain Standard Time. And I am seeing everything for what it really is, more so than ever before. Even when I'm sick, like I've been sick since probably this is like the 4th day I've been sick. I only had a sore throat for the first like 2.5 days. And then yesterday, oh my gosh, we had a group call in the Regal Change Academy, and during that call, I started to get a fever. I started to get like body aches. I started to get a cough, all out of nowhere. And so I had to just rest pretty much the rest of the night. And over the past like 24 hours, I probably slept like 14 of those hours. And so my body definitely needs the rest. And even so, I still got to do what I need to do. I'm still trying to get this message out for you guys to make sure that you guys are prepared, because I hope you guys are prepared for the chaos, because that's what exactly they want. And I'm really ready to let Babylon fall. Like, let Babylon fall, man. I am all here for it, because I'm ready to see the degeneracy. We've been almost like covertly fighting, we've been covertly fighting, and I'm sick of these passive aggressive people that are trying to take over and trying to use certain ways of being to just exploit other people. I'm tired of the lies. I'm tired of everything. Like, let's get everything out in the open. And people that don't know, Alexander Solzhenitsyn in the Soviet Union, who wrote the Gulag Archipelago, one of the things he wrote in there was that they're lying, and we know that they're lying, and yet they're still lying to us. That is the government that we have in the United States. For those of you that are outside the United States, everybody pretty much in the U.S. knows that. And everybody that doesn't know that is completely delusional, thinking that they're not in delusion. That's what's so crazy, is these people that want to destroy all of the things that I mentioned at the beginning of this video, genuine beauty and sacredness and truth. These same people think that they're living the truth. The same people that think that they're men when they're women and they're women when they're men. The same people that think that they would rather be able to kill babies instead of fixing the economy or inflation or getting everything under control in their health and whatnot. These are the same people that think that we're the ones living in delusion. And even when I'm sick, like even when I'm sleeping like 14 hours for the past 24 hours, I guarantee I've still done more than some of these people out here. And I know that if you're watching this video, you're probably somebody like this as well. You just stick to your grind and you do what you need to do. And it's not about trying to be better than anybody else, because the only person that you're really in competition with is yourself. But what these people fear, it's not like they fear themselves more than anything else. They fear that their reality is actually a fantasy. And it's because it is. It's because it is a fantasy. And, I'm not on one side or the other in this. And I've already made the decision not to vote this time, because I don't even want to play a part in whatever's going on, because why would I, at least at the federal level, locally, different story, but why would I want to be a part of anything that's going on right now. And as far as our choices, like, these are our best choices, really. I'm not saying that one is extremely better or extremely worse than the other, but I'm saying that one is extremely, extremely dangerous insofar as where we're going, because we already know what we're going to get with one of these kinds of people, because they were in there before. They were already in there from 2016 to 2020. Y'all know who I'm talking about. So we already know who's going to be in there. We already know what kind of presidency we're going to have. The problem is the National Guard has been deployed in several states already. So the states are already preparing for unrest, okay? And I just got this information from somebody in the Regal Change Academy, so shout out to that person, because that was really informative. But one thing that we've got to really hunker down on is recognizing that the likelihood of this escalating into something dangerous is very high. And that's okay. Like, we need to be prepared for that, though. This is what the people in power, whoever these shadow figures are, this is what they want. This is what they want. They want us to be fearful. They want us to be in fear. They want us to fear for our lives. And yet they don't know that we truly godly people are the ones that are actually going to be okay with no matter what happens, because we're going to stand our ground. We're going to be the godlike savages and the warm, inviting, feminine, empathetic women out there. Okay, us men, we're prepared. People in the Regal Change Academy, we've been preparing for months. We know exactly what's going on. We've been preparing. Everybody in the RCA, Regal Change Academy, everybody knows that this is what's like the real deal. Okay, everybody knows that something big is going to happen. How it's going to unfold, though, is completely a different story. We have no clue how it's going to unfold. So the biggest thing that we can do is, as godly people, is to stay the course, continue to follow the laws, statutes, and commandments, and make sure that, you've got your water sources, you've got your fuel sources, you've got your food sources, not just fuel, but food sources. You've got a generator or something, or some kind of battery, or some kind of backup, some kind of form of electricity, some kind of way of communication. All of these things are going to be very, very useful for you, especially in the upcoming days if things go sour. Because I guarantee you that almost no matter what happens, there's going to be some kind of form of interference. Like, I guarantee you that's probably just going to be the way things are going to go. All right. So we've got to make sure that we're ready, we're prepared for anything, because that's exactly what the chaos they want. They want people to be unprepared. They want people to be so fearful that they don't know what to do. And you've got to keep a clear head. Over the past 24 hours or so, I did a fast, because I never actually fasted when I was sick. Something that I noticed when I did the fast was, because I wasn't sure what was going to happen, but I'm pretty sure that fasting is one of the key ingredients to everything. I'm seeing how fasting can really alleviate a lot of your spiritual problems, because sickness can be a form of demonicness and demonic entities, depending on how you view it. And, the thing is we as godly people know that there's a spiritual side of fasting, and that it's almost like been prepared. Like, this way for me has been prepared for this moment. And again, I've had certain dreams in the past few days where I've seen, and I don't really know, I'm not claiming that this is going to be what's happening, but I had a dream yesterday, or I guess the night before yesterday, that people wouldn't know the difference between mail-in ballots and electronic ballots. And I don't know exactly why I had that dream, but then I had another dream where people were in the desert and they were cast out into the desert and they were forced to survive in the desert. I had another dream where people were taking their clothes, like people had their clothes taken from them, and they were forced to hide and try to get their clothes back, while these luxurious people were having like a dinner party at a golf course or something. And so I don't know exactly what that's about either, but all of these had like a a spirit of chaos to them. It just and iniquity and transgression. It was just something that you don't really like. You don't really want to have dreams like that because, well, it shows you like because dreams are the internal reflection of the external world, and so they're pretty much your own personal mythology. And you've got to understand this, and you've got to understand that if you've been doing fasting, if you know how to fast, a lot of these people are probably not going to be prepared. You know, if things do go south and there is some kind of form of food shortage or something like that, I mean, let's not forget, like, was it a month ago that the port strike happened, and they only kicked the can down the road until January, right? So who knows what's going to happen there. And so that could happen. That could play a factor in how things work out in the long term. And you know, this is just kind of the way that things need to be, I guess, at this point. And we've just got to accept it. And we've got to accept that through all of the pain that Yeshua went through when he went onto that cross, us godly people are going to have to face similar persecution in some sense of the imagination in order to really understand the meaning of the cross. Okay, and this is something that I think a lot of Christians included, they actually cannot relate to the cross. They don't know how to relate to it because they haven't had real uncomfortable struggles. And if things do go south and there is a food shortage, and people are going to be hungry, man. People are going to be hungry, and a lot of people are just not going to be ready for it. But if you're somebody that works out, you fast regularly, and you know what to do, you have an understanding of how to grow your own food, how to get your water supplies, etc., you're going to be just fine. You know, this is where all of the women that are wanting to kill babies before they're born, this is where they're going to start to see they're going to start to see the light. I guarantee it. I guarantee if things go south, that's what's going to happen. Like, a lot of these women out here are going to see certain things. A lot of the men that are just trying to pander to women are going to see certain things. You know, I'm excited. I'm excited to see this kind of stuff roll out. Like, I'm not excited about the violence, but I am excited to see Babylon fall. I am excited to see the wickedness come to some kind of form of spiritual fight, or some kind of form that isn't covert, by the way, that is overt. Because I hate this covert fighting. I hate all of it. Like, people smiling in your face as they try to rob you, or smiling in your face as they try to, like, talk behind your back and scheme behind your back. These backstabbers and liars. What's that song with Johnny Cash? God's gonna cut you down, right? Yeah. Sooner or later, God's gonna cut you down, and you better believe that. And with all that being said, I hope this message was useful and insightful. If anybody does want to join the Regal Change Academy, feel free to check out the links in the description box below. We have the free Discord, where you got a lot of different kinds of resources available. And we've also got the paid community, which is where we have the group calls, the weekly Bible studies, etc. And that's going to be a lot more indicative of people that want to really grow closer to the Most High, have that kind of communion and brotherhood and sisterhood, and just overall spiritual wellness. Because a lot of the times, the most amount of people that come to me say that they're just experiencing this kind of loneliness, and they feel like they're the only one in their community about this. So now we've got a spiritual community for you that's actually based in Yeshua and the Most High God. So there's that also, and I want to thank everybody that's been moving from YouTube over to the X and Rumble platforms. I also appreciate all of the support in my DMs on Instagram. And with all that being said, peace be with you all. Till next time.